Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a young boy, standing on a dusty basketball court in the middle of nowhere. His shoes are torn, his ball is worn out, and the hoop doesn't even have a net. Every shot he takes bounces off the rim and rolls away. The world looks at him and thinks, he will never make it. But inside that boy's heart lives a dream so strong it refuses to die. That boy could be anywhere. He could be in a small town in America, he could be in a village in Africa, he could be in the streets of Asia. That boy could be you. Dreams, my friends, are the spark that light the fire of our lives. They are the whispers of possibility that remind us we were born not just to exist, but to create, to give, to live with meaning. Yet too often, dreams remain locked inside, like treasures buried deep beneath the earth. Why? Because dreams without action are just fantasies. And fantasies never feed the hungry, never heal the broken, never change the world. Today, I want to talk to you about a journey that turns dreams into reality. It's a path that has 3 steps: setting goals, creating plans, and achieving those goals. And along the way, we will discover that the true measure of success is not just what we accomplish for ourselves, but what we give back to others. Step 1: Setting your goals. Let me begin with a story. A young woman named Sarah grew up in a small town in Ohio. Her family struggled financially, and she often went to bed hungry. But Sarah had a dream. She wanted to become a doctor, not for money, but because she remembered what it felt like to sit in a hospital waiting room with no one to help her sick mother. One night, as she studied under the dim light of a lamp, her father told her, "Sarah, life will try to pull you away from your dream. But if you don't set your goals clearly, life will choose for you. And it will always choose small." That night, Sarah wrote down her goal: "I will become a doctor. I will help families like mine." She didn't just keep it in her heart, she put it on paper. You see, friends, setting goals is like aiming your arrow. Without aiming, you might shoot, but you will never hit the target. Goals give us direction. They transform a vague dream into a clear destination. But here's the twist: not all goals are about fame, wealth, or personal comfort. The most powerful goals are those rooted in compassion, kindness, and humanity. When your dream is tied to lifting others, you will find strength even when your legs feel weak, and hope even when the night feels endless. Step 2: Creating plans. Now, a goal without a plan is like a car without fuel. It looks good, but it won't take you anywhere. Sarah had her goal, but she faced mountains of obstacles. Her family couldn't afford college, let alone medical school. She didn't have connections. She didn't even own a computer. To many, her dream seemed impossible. But Sarah began to plan. She studied harder than anyone else in her class, applied for every scholarship she could find, worked part-time jobs, and volunteered at a local clinic. Her plan wasn't glamorous, but it was relentless. This is where many people stumble. They have the dream, they set the goal, but they forget to create the road. And without a road, you can't travel. Now, here's where an unexpected twist comes in. One day, while working a late shift at a diner to save money, Sarah saw a homeless man counting coins on the counter, trying to buy a cup of coffee. Something inside her moved. Though she barely had enough for herself, she paid for his meal. That act of kindness, as small as it seemed, changed something in her. It reminded her that her dream wasn't about prestige, it was about people. And the universe, my friends, has a strange way of rewarding generosity. Months later, a local charity heard about Sarah's act of kindness and offered her a scholarship fund to cover a portion of her studies. Her compassion had unlocked a door her plans alone couldn't open. Step 3: Achieving goals. Now comes the hardest part: achievement. Achieving a dream is not a straight path, it's a battlefield filled with setbacks, disappointments, and moments when giving up feels easier than pressing on. Sarah's journey was no exception. In her second year of medical school, her mother fell gravely ill. Sarah faced a choice: abandon her studies to care for her mother full-time, or push forward while carrying the weight of both responsibility and grief. Many would have given up. But Sarah remembered her why: I will become a doctor. I will help families like mine. She studied during the nights at the hospital by her mother's bedside. Professors noticed her determination and offered her mentorship. Friends pitched in to support her. Step by step, year by year, she fought through. Finally, the day came when Sarah walked across the stage and received her white coat. She had achieved her dream. But here's the beautiful truth: her success was never just her own. Because of her journey, she opened a clinic in her hometown, serving low-income families who otherwise couldn't afford healthcare. Her dream became a reality. But more importantly, her reality became hope for thousands of others. The emotional climax. And this is where I want you to pause and reflect. Dreams are not selfish, they are seeds. When you water them with determination, kindness, and compassion, they grow into trees that provide shade and fruit for others. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., whose dream was not for himself, but for justice. Think of a single mother working 3 jobs to send her children to school. Think of the teacher who stays after class to help a struggling student. These are not just people chasing personal goals. They are people whose dreams transform into blessings for others. The act of compassion in your journey may feel small, like buying a meal for a stranger, mentoring someone younger, or simply listening to someone in pain, but those small acts ripple outwards, often returning to lift you when you need it most. A heartwarming conclusion. So, my friends, let me leave you with this. Every great achievement begins with a dream. But dreams need goals, goals need plans, and plans need action. And along the way, remember this: the greatest dreams are never about building a bigger house for yourself, but about building a bigger table where more people can eat. From dreams to reality is not just about you, it's about us. It's about humanity. It's about lifting each other up, so that no one is left behind in the shadows. So tonight, when you go home, write down your dream. Set your goal. Create your plan. And when the journey gets tough, don't just think about what you'll achieve. Think about who you'll help. Because when your dream becomes a gift to the world, you will discover a reality far greater than anything you could have imagined. Dream big. Plan wisely. Work relentlessly. Give generously. And watch your dreams turn into a reality that lights the path for generations to come. Thank you.